Wait, oh shit.
Do something with
What's
your
up,
hair.
everyone? We're back. Slap
You look
after
like the
hours.
yellow peanut M&M, Sean. You
Oh
look
my
like the
God.
fucking yellow peanut M&M.
We're just
Here,
gonna
look, I
jump right
brought,
into this. You know,
I
fuck
brought
this
somebody as well,
introduction.
Ben. It's just like you, look. It's a little pussy.
That is a cute cat. I do like cats, I'm not gonna lie.
All right, so this is Slap After Hours. I'm your host, the Fight Analyst. With me, as always, is my man, Chris Debow. And we have these two guys already bickering over here. Everybody knows our man, Ben the Bane Davis, you know, combat sports personality, you know, personality of the year, I would like to call him.
Ben
and
the
then we
Belling.
have the infamous Sean Kilmartin. I know these two guys have a little bit of bad blood, so I kind of wanted to bring them on so they can kind of maybe hash things out a little bit because we have.
We'll hash it out in a ring.
Oh,
There's
man.
no point in fighting you, Sean. You're a nobody.
You'd lose in seconds, lad. You'd lose in seconds.
The infamous, more like the irrelevant,
Stop
Sean.
it.
There is zero luster to your name, especially
Front
now that
kick
you've got
to the chin,
flatlined
lad.
on slap
Front
fighting.
kick to the chin is
No,
what
you're
you
not
get.
worth it.
Front
Why
kick
would I
to
go
the
from
chin,
Anderson
lad.
Silva's son to some random
Yeah.
Dubliner, dude? That doesn't
Let's-
make any sense.
Who's from Dublin, lad? Who's from Dublin, you fucking
Where are you
fool?
from? Where are you from?
Midlands, buddy.
Midland. Even more irrelevant. An irrelevant city for an irrelevant guy. That's so fitting. How apropos.
Up the fucking raw, lad.
All right. I got to get two sides of the story here, right? Let's get some backstory, right? You know, we have Ben was talking a little smack about the whole power slap, you know, everything that's going on, and then Sean over here clapped back on IG, and now this is where we're at, right?
Okay, so let me correct that real quick. And Sean,
you were talking shit about Debow, lad. That's what you were doing. Don't be talking shit.
okay,
Don't be backtracking.
Really? I'm not backtracking. I'm just further painting the scene. He was not mentioned at all. Mr. Sean over here.
You had his picture up, lad. Come out of it, lad.
I was offering an
Here,
opinion.
we'll put up your little fucking 13-second knockout, lad. What are you talking about? Come out with the
It was a 13. Listen, Sean, if you're gonna talk, you better get the facts right. It was a 13-second ankle lock. The knockout was 2 minutes and 48 seconds into the first round of my
Same,
fight.
lad. Same.
I'm
You're
just
muck.
saying. No, it's
You're
not
muck.
the same. Quite
Muck.
like how power slap isn't the same as anything that I've done in combat sports. Sean, I'm more relevant than you. Yet you're the.
Of course you are. And that's why you were fucking
artist,
putting
right?
up my picture, lad, isn't it? Your biggest interaction to date was from me, lad. Come
That
out
is
of it.
such a lie. I've got commentating clips that have gone far more relevant and viral.
Sign the contract. Let's do it.
There's no point, Sean. There's no point in
You'd
fighting
be
it.
sparked out. You don't want to be sparked out, but a lad who got sparked out, do you?
I mean, Gabe also got sparked out in one of his fights, and I was more than happy to go fight him. Why? Because he's Anderson Silva's son. There's no point. Sean, if there was a point, I'll give you this. If there was a reason to fight you, I would. But
you hear that, Debow? He's talking shit.
Yeah. So let's
I don't remember even what he said about me.
Let's get back to it. Yeah,
I like your
Debow.
picture.
Me and Chris, I think Chris is great. I don't know why you keep trying to deflect over to Chris there, Sean. But
hey,
so
like the
happened.
when I fucking got dehydrated and went to the hospital, the moment they filmed me on the stretcher, I was like, ooh, this is gonna be harsh. But that's the only bad thing I've done in power slap. Like if you're gonna find something to shake a stick at, I guess it's the only, like, you got one thing, you're gonna talk about it.
Ben's got two things. He can't fucking grapple and he can't box.
No, so again, to paint the scene, Sean's not mentioned in any way, shape, or form, hops into the thread and gets bodied by every other reply in that thread. You can go look through it. Sean, you are the minority in opinion. And I want to hear from you. Why do you think power slap is good? Why do you think it's good? Let's hear that.
Dude, power slap isn't just good, it's great. Because the thing that to first point out, the thing that I don't like people saying about it is like, oh, anybody can do it. Anybody can do anything barring a disability. There's nothing stopping anyone from playing basketball, but how many people are in the NBA? There's nothing to stop people from being a martial artist. How many people are in the UFC? Like, anybody can do anything, but how many people can be good at something? And
Ben
just the
can't be
fact that
good
it's
at
in its
hand.
infancy, I think that's why it's getting so much slack.
Here, Ben,
But-
look, here's you, man. Look,
You're
there's
saying
you,
Sean
buddy.
should already retire then, because clearly he's not good at it.
Make the step, lad. You know what I'm saying? Here, come over, lad. Come over and let me see.
How much-
Come on, let's see it.
How much you weigh,
We have
Ben?
a slap off, Sean, and then
You
it really
haven't
just
seen
boils
me. You
down to
haven't
who wins
seen
the
me yet,
coin
lad. What are you
toss,
talking
right?
about? All you've seen
Dude.
is a fucking foul. That's all you've seen. Come
So
over.
here's my point of contention with Power Slap. Here's one of my big issues with it, and I know that this is shared by the majority.
CTE. Shut the
Not even
fuck
that.
up.
Not
then.
even that. We've got.
That's all
CTE
you
in
said
every sport.
online. That's all you
Rugby,
said
we've got
online.
football. I'm sure
Oh,
there's
you're gonna
CTE
get
in fucking
CTE,
basketball.
lad.
No,
You're a
my
fool.
issue is in the lack
You're a
of
fool.
defense, right? Having to just
So-
take a shot on the point of the chin, especially if you're cutting weight and dehydrating yourself. I think that that's ludicrous.
So
There's another sport called, I believe it's called X fighting or something, where it's like you're holding each other's hands and you're striking and there's defense allowed, but it's kind of the same phone booth scenario. I would have much preferred the UFC finance that, platform that, and create that, because there's offense and defense. With Power Slap, I'm just like, it comes down to the coin toss. And Sean can tell you, as someone who lost the coin toss, it's stupid.
As someone who's also lost the coin toss, there is defense to this, because the one time I didn't brace myself and flex through it, and like the way I defend myself is like I flex everything, I bite down like a motherfucker, and then I leave my neck a little bit slack so you get the automatic rolling of the shot without having to time it. And when you don't do that, you get put on your ass. And that happens a lot in people's first matches because they don't know, because this sport is so different than everything else. But I will say this, people in the MMA community, all the people who hate grappling and they hate jiu-jitsu, they just want people to stand up and trade. It's like Dana gave them a sport where it's just taking turns. It's like they're standing up and they're trading. No wrestling, no jiu-jitsu, no breaks. And they hate it anyway. Like
I don't know. I feel like you're generalizing a lot. And that's, hey, I'll take it outside of just like the mixed martial arts hardcores that are super familiar with Dana. You look at its run on cable television, right? It had the primetime slot right after AEW. I mean, that is an amazing spot on television. You're getting this huge audience that'll leave their TVs on. Why then is it week after week there was a 75% or more drop off in viewage? That's telling me that there's an audience that really isn't there. It exists and dies on TikTok and Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts. I mean, that's kind of at least my perspective on.
I mean, that's been a good angle from this sport from the beginning, where we live in a generation where people's attention span is so small that they like to be instantly gratified. And a lot of people don't even watch a full UFC fight. Like I was at UFC Austin just a couple months ago, and I'm seeing during one of the main events, people on their phone, they can't sit there and watch a fight. But with Power Slap, they're scrolling, and it's a 2-minute clip, and they get instant gratification of someone getting put to sleep. So I think it's perfect for social media.
Ben just likes to talk shite, man. That's the only thing he likes to do. Look.
Sean, all you have done is hurl personal insults. I want you to recognize that. You have added.
I have no respect
Ben,
for you at all.
I'm just saying.
Respect for you at all.
Hey,
Share
on a
and
side
DMs,
note,
lad, you're a little bitch.
On a side note, Ben, if you ever want to try Power Slap out, I'm sure we can arrange it. I'll get you at 170, man.
170.
Oh.
But I'm trying to get my way down to like the high 140s, Chris. Come on, that's a little too high.
It's excuses, excuses.
Clearly, I'm a guy that always tries something once. I've taken horrible stylistic matchups in 2 different disciplines. So you can shit on me all you want, but I have walked that and have put it up when I need to. So I do hope that is.
It doesn't have to be at 170. We do have people at 155.
Here, I'll make 155. Let's do it.
You would look like a chicken.
Overweight Irish guy.
I'll do it.
I don't think that you could get down.
Mark my words. I'll make
155.
155.
I mean, we'd have to get you on a wheelbarrow, dude. That's the problem with you.
Here, lad. We can grapple if you want, lad. I'll
Sean at 155 would be looking like me.
10 seconds. Finish it in 10 seconds in a grappling match. Easy.
But
I don't know. Are we starting standing? Or are we already in a position grappling?
Lad, I'll just pick you up, slam you down, and fucking break a limb. That's what I'll do.
I could definitely survive 10. I would sprint.
No, you couldn't.
And
look at my
bike for
record,
10
lad. Look at my record.
you know?
Look at my record.
I
Look at my
lasted
record.
13 against Brad Bolton, who I bet is a better grappler than you. And
He
I
had a
was
bit.
engaging
He
right
had a
from the
bit of
get-go.
mercy for you.
So
lad.
if I
He
had
had a
in
bit of
my
mercy
mind
for you. I
that
won't have no
evasion-
mercy for you.
Listen, Sean, if I was evading, I could definitely last 10 seconds. But
No.
that's another dumb
No.
point from Sean. Now, I
No.
recognize that I've been tossed into a Shark Tank here. I'm assuming by
But,
the
hey, I just,
yeah. So
I
thanks,
just wanted.
Fight Analyst.
Hey,
Thank you. I appreciate being
Hey,
thrown
I just
directly
wanted,
into
I
Go
wanted
on, you
this
pussy.
to be hashed
Go
out
on,
a
you
little.
pussy. Go
I wanted
run
it
it.
to be hashed out a little bit here because I wanted to see both sides of the story, right? Because we have the polar opposites, right? You have someone who's actually competing in this sport, and we have someone that's like the majority. Because Ben, you're like the majority of the people out there that are really watching it think this is kind of barbaric, right? But I feel like, and I was in your case too at one point. I felt like this was beyond done. And and it's still brutal to watch. Something I personally would never be able to even attempt to do. But I feel like it's kind of grown on me. These guys aren't, these animalistic guys that are just trying to take somebody's head off, right? It's a sport that I feel like it's going to grow into something at some point, and I'm just kind of going along with it. Do you feel like this could be something that could be legitimatized? Trying to say here in the future? Could you see this being something, a not UFC, maybe it could be, who knows, but like something that could be something, at some point, because I feel like there is growth here. We're only a year and a half in, and we've seen a lot of growth since then.
I mean, at least on views, social media wise, that's where we're crushing it.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, this is the viral stage in life. Everybody wants that, like Debow was saying, simple gratification. It's quick and easy, and this is one of those things that we could get on social media where it could blow up. But from your side, do you think this could be something maybe in the future? Could you see that? Even though I know you don't like what it's been doing and what it is, but is there growth in something like this?
Well, I bet if you asked somebody back in 2006, hey, is there growth in the iPhone? A lot of pugilists in the phone community would say, no, that's silly. What, a phone with a flat screen? Nobody's going to buy that. BlackBerry, we like our buttons, right? So I don't want to say anything super definite and then eat my words, but I'll suggest this. The fact that you did have a big streaming partner and some network distribution and that failed, and now you're on a place like Rumble. And I did look through when Sean competed and glanced at kind of the view counts of a lot of the matches on Rumble. I wasn't blown away. You look at the posts on the UFC's YouTube, which has like 15 million subscribers, and it's not like those power slap matches are crushing it. You'd think if it's being platformed by something with that size, then there'd be a lot more interest. The views would be a lot higher. I'll give you this. On platforms like Instagram Reels, the Shorts, the TikToks, yes, I mean, it's built for that algorithm 100%. I would be the last person to deny that. And to one of your earlier points, I wouldn't say, and I hope that I haven't because I don't really believe it, but I mean, a lot of people that compete in it, like Sean, they are mixed martial artists. He's 16-3. Is that what it is?
15-3.
15-3. I can, I make a lot of jokes at Sean, but that's a pretty damn good record, right? So I'm not suggesting it's attracting trailer trash. I just don't think with the platforming it's received and the lack of interest by the majority of the community, I have a hard time seeing that it'll find.
Stop thinking then, lad. Stop thinking. You know what I'm saying? Up here's for thinking, down here's for dancing, lad. Come on, fuck. You want to fight or you don't?
Well, I mean,
we were just answer that question, Sean.
I'm talking about in general. I know you're too pussy to fight me, but I'm just saying in general.
I don't. What gives you the confidence in saying I'm too much of a pussy to fight you? The reason I've made in not.
I just hear you, lad. I hear how you're talking. You're afraid of it, lad. You're afraid of it.
If someone was giving me a damn good payday, sure. If I
go away with your payday, lad. Go away. What you looking for a payday? Or are you looking for a fight? What are you looking for?
Sean, I'll shoot you. Sean, I will just roll up.
Will you?
You know what I'm saying? Lad. Like I don't know what you want. I have yet to hear a really valuable point from you.
I'm just here to fucking look you in the eye and tell you I'm gonna fuck you up, basically.
Do it,
but Sean, let's hear your side though. Like, not just talking about wanting to kill Bane over here. Like, why do
Bane,
you
I
see
call
that?
him fucking Benjamin Button, lad. Bane.
All right. So, like, from your side of perspective, the guy that's in there competing with the other, competitors out there, why do you think this is a sport that's going to be able to grow in the next, couple of years or so? Why do you see that it could be, something that the UFC can keep pushing, keep putting money in, and see where it would go from there? Why do you think it'll grow?
We all love to see knockouts. You'll see them on the fucking regular in this. It's a fucking dog eat dog world. That's all we want to see. We want to see violence. How more violent can you get?
Can I respond to that?
Go right ahead.
It's tough to see that when Forrest Griffin is visibly wincing and grimacing watching the action. It's tough to see that when there's Nevada State Athletic.
Hey, Forrest loves that shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, when the NSAC doctors are standing up in commission meetings saying, "Oh, I don't fucking know about this. The concussions are the worst I've ever seen in my career."
Lad, you went into a boxing
come on,
match.
You can't look past
you
that.
Went, you went into a boxing match. What are you talking about? You know
we take
you
less
sustain more punches in a boxing match than you will in power slap, unless you fucking stand and take 3.
People take more contact damage to the head in football practice than we do. We get hit 3 to 5 times every 2-3 months. People get hit in the head way more in every other sport. Do we get hard? Do we get hit fucking hard as shit? And do we have limited defense as opposed to other things in the sense of we can't move, but you can defend yourself? You can either stand there and give them your chin and get put on your ass and get a concussion, or you can bite down and muscle through it and put your nuts on the table. But either way.
But you and I can go back and forth on whether that constitutes as defense. I don't know if I would define simply bracing as in the construct of power slap. Maybe
it's not just bracing. You got to brace with it, and you got to know when to roll with it. It's a lot of things wrapped into one. And then, because you are standing there, but you're only not allowed to move up into the point of contact. So it's crazy. It's honestly, it's one of these things that I think when people go watch an event live, because watching it on your phone or watching it on your screen, it's completely different. Speaking as someone who's been on the stage and been next to it, just watching the fights, watching it live is fucking wild. Ben, genuinely
come to a live event, Ben. Come on.
Listen, Sean,
next month.
If I'm your VIP, for sure, Sean.
100%, lad. Here, you're gonna be VIP.
Power Slap 6. They're selling 725 tickets.
Power Slap 6. That's just weeks away, less than a month. February 8th, I think, or 9th. No, February 9th. Man, it's gonna be a crazy event. First live event in front of all the audience.
It's not going to be. It's the first event not at the Apex, and they're going to have open to the public. So you should definitely go and check it out, and then you can make a more informed decision of how much you like it.
Yeah, Ben, come on, let's go.
I've got a show down in Medellin on February 10th, so I will not be in Vegas at that point in time. You can call it an excuse. I call it work, baby. I call it being a sports broadcast.
But
call it being a pussy.
Hey, in the future though, man, there's going to be more events, and they're going to be open to the public more in the future. So you definitely shouldn't shy away from it.
Chris, I like you. I will say that I like your vibe, but I think I still got to maintain my position over here because again, I got to rewind back to the fact that I would have preferred to see maybe the UFC platform and finance something that it's 4 hours Muay Thai. I mean, come on, if they actually put some serious effort into boxing and disrupting boxing, I just
if you put some serious effort into your boxing,
candies and nuts,
got made a show of that.
Yeah. Well, again, I recognize here that this stream is a Shark Tank. My opinion is completely in the minority, and I will never be able to convince anyone here of anything. So it is kind of
you convinced me to get into a fucking ring with you, Ari.
Sean, you're not worth my time. You're just not worth it.
Look,
Ben, excuses. Ben, you're nobody either. I don't know what you're talking about. You're a big zero, buddy.
Yo, shockingly enough, I am more than you, which is
you're
tough
a big
to
zero,
say
lad.
I also agree. I'm really not that great.
This is how many wins you have, lad. That's how many wins you have. None.
I'm a play-by-play commentator. And also, I've taken horrible stylistic matchups. Brad Bolton, ADCC.
Stop calling him for that. Lad, you were looking for
7.5
Craig
minutes with
Jones,
Clay
lad. What are you
Guida.
talking
Had him
about?
in the
Craig
same
Jones would
ankle
have
lock
fucked
that
you
he
up
had
in
me in.
fucking
But
5 seconds, lad.
CFFC's got a rule that you can't leg lock UFC fighters. So Clay would have tapped, much like I did, but he was saved by the rule set. Gabe Silva, pro boxer, had a pretty extensive background in kickboxing and that side of things. So with the 8 inches of reach, the 6 inches of height, the blood, the family, obviously that wasn't really in my favor now, Sean, was it? So you can say I'm 0-2,
You got in there, lad.
whatever.
You got in there, lad. You got into the ring. Do you know what I'm saying? What are you making excuses for?
It's
I
not
don't
an
think
excuse.
it's making an excuse.
It is. You got into the ring, lad. You thought you were big enough. You weren't, though.
I got to give him credit for doing at least that, because I have not done that and probably would never be able to do that. So I got to give him credit for at least trying against legitimate
I wouldn't call that
competition.
trying. I would not call that
I
trying.
can't say
Call
he's
that
not trying. He was in
losing
there.
terribly.
He tried to compete. He trained a little bit. I mean, everybody's got to start somewhere, right?
Man, I've been set on my ass in power slap. Like, it was the first time in my life I've been rocked like that, and I fucking had to get up twice. And do or do not, there is no try. Like, fucking just like Yoda said, man. Either did it or you didn't.
Right. I mean,
I'm not sure Yoda would have been a fan of power slap. I think Yoda probably would have been.
Yoda though, not a great character. That dude was passive to the point of fucking evil.
Well, he put up with a lot of shit, Chris. I mean, he witnessed the fall of his entire belief system. I would get a little bit apathetic.
Oh.
All right. Well.
All right. Now to get back to the semi point of the stream for this episode, what did you guys think of the 2 fights we saw in tonight's episode?
Amir talks so much shit, and he just got made a show of. That's all I say. What a fucking idiot that fella is.
Oof. I kind of saw that coming. Did anybody else see that coming, or was that just me? Because I kind of saw that coming.
When Amir hits hard as shit, when you win if you get the coin toss, you never know. And I know personally, just from him being my homie, how much work he's been doing. So there's been nothing but improvement on his side. And he's one of those people that they know that, like, they call him, he'll fucking get off work and be able to show up at a moment's notice and fucking drop 15, 20 pounds and get the job done.
I got to give him credit where credit's due.
He didn't get any job done, though.
Sean, what do you like? Sean, like, what things in life do you enjoy? I'm curious.
What do I enjoy?
Yeah.
Potatoes.
Spuds, lad. Spuds, steaks, scraps. That's it.
You kind of look 12. You kind of have you've got the shape of a potato.
You got a face of a pussy, lad. That's what you're talking about. And you have the excuses to fucking back it up as well.
I've made 0 excuses.
You've made all the excuses, lad. What are you talking about? Oh, I can't do this. I can't do that. This, that. You're a fucking step up. You talked big load of shite. Let's do it.
Sean, I think that you're misunderstanding.
Sean, here we go. Another excuse. Excuse.
You can provide me with some incentive.
You should be Ben the excuse, David, is what you should be. Whatever David is, whatever the fuck your name is.
You are the equivalent of every fucking random person on Twitter that calls me out and says, "Oh, fight me next." And when I justifiably don't entertain that,
no, lad.
You're this, you're that.
Correct
no,
yourself.
I just justifiably don't entertain
lad.
random
Your
shit.
Your followers suggested a fight, lad. I just agreed to it. What are you talking about? You were big enough to take your screenshots and put it up on your Twitter feed, lad, and put up messages where you were deleting messages. So, do you know what I'm saying?
Deleting messages. I wasn't deleting any
shit.
Messages. I took the only excerpt I took was when you first reached out. Let's get this straight. Sean DMs me after inserting himself into an Instagram thread for no reason. Sean DMs me and starts this unbelievable back and forth tirade. I screenshot the first part of it because it would take a long time.
That's a pussy move. End off. Pussy move.
Right.
He said you screenshot it first, you lose.
So you wanted me to screen record like for 30 seconds and scroll through all your bullshit. There was no point. You got everything you needed from that initial contact. And then I included
you didn't need to make a post that men reach out to men, and if you're gonna talk shite, just say whatever you're gonna say. Don't be going, "Oh, lads, look at this." You know what I'm saying?
Well, listen, Sean, it was an easy dunk opportunity.
You got your biggest interaction, lad, and you say I'm a no draw.
You think that's my
lad.
biggest interaction 5,000 likes. You think that's my biggest interaction?
Lad,
My
there was
friend, you are
over
sorely
600,000 fucking interactions on it. What are you talking about? Look at your stats. Lad.
Small.
Look at
Sean,
all
I
the
do
rest.
that.
Look at all
I
the
do
rest of
that
your
in an
posts,
evening. I
lad.
do
What are
that
you
when I'm
talking
off
about?
shift, baby. Come on. That's
Look at all the
fucking
rest of your
donuts for
posts,
me.
lad. They don't
That's
get anywhere
donuts,
near it.
Sean.
They
I know
don't
you're
get anywhere
unfamiliar
near
with
it.
social media and how you can scale it and really utilize and leverage your brand, but that's small. That's peanuts. But either way, if I
Like
had
your head,
boxed
lad. It's like a
immediately
little
after you,
peanut.
if
Little
I listen,
peanut head.
if I boxed after you and I spoke, you would have done the exact same. You would have celebrated me getting knocked out.
I did celebrate you getting knocked out, lad. I can just look on fucking YouTube. I fucking find them, lad. What are you talking about?
Gosh, it's like talking to
That was a terrible here. That was terrible. You were talking about no defense, lad. What were you doing there, lad? You could see that coming from a mile away.
His body.
Hey,
You could see it coming from a
that is
mile
something
away.
that is something that I can say about other
Get
sports.
into
It's
it.
like y'all got all the defense in the world. You are in control of that as much as anyone can be, and people still get knocked out. So
to me, it's more exciting, right? It's me more exciting when you have offense and defense in that capacity, and you're still able to get past that and put someone down. So to answer that, sure, there you go.
Two realms.
Exactly.
Two realms. I think people like to draw a lot of comparisons and say like they're just coming from the MMA sports fan group. Like it's a completely different thing. Like there's nothing else like it. Like everyone who comes into it with the boxing background has problems competing within our rule set because you can't pivot or step. And that does cut off a lot of the power. Like if motherfuckers could lift their feet and turn like they can overseas in the other slap fighting organizations and use the whole hand like we can, as opposed to just the upper three quadrants with your fingers, people would be getting CTE for sure. But they don't, because they're really strict on the fucking rules and what we're allowed to do. It cuts off a lot of power not being able to pivot like that.
We'll see. I think in 5 years or 10 years, when there's some seriously elevated levels of CTE, maybe we'll have a different conversation.
Andrew Fields, is this more of a show of fuck you? You got like a bitch. Rock me, but you ain't gonna drop me.
Who's that? Sir Flinch a lot.
Andrew Fields.
Oh, Andrew Flinch.
Yeah, I think so. I'm still getting into the who everybody is, so just bear with me. I'm just getting into the whole power slap thing. So I gotta do background on everybody that's been following and reaching out and coming into the comments. So I appreciate everybody. But yeah, I mean, we're here shooting the shit, and I appreciate you guys coming on. And you kind of, I wouldn't say hashing it out because you guys were kind of bickering the entire time. But
I think Sean's
Ben.
still good. That hasn't changed.
All right. Yeah. Before we wrap up,
I think Ben's a fan. So he's a fan of power slap. He's
I think Ben is genuinely like Squidward, bro. Just take a bite of the Krabby Patty. Come on, get it over with.
Chris, shut up, man. That's a horrible comparison.
How long did it take you to do your hair?
My hair? Oh, this was about 9 hours ago. I was shooting some face-to-face interviews for Misfits Boxing. Ooh. And had to whip it up. We'll say this, Chris, I like you like 100 times more than I like Sean. So if I have to give a compliment out.
Hey, a lot of people like me better than Sean. That's not a
He was hating on you to start with, and then he's fucking switching up now, look.
Well, because I'm not a piece of shit, Sean. I mean, I hate to disappoint you.
What are you talking about? You're the biggest piece of shit, lad. You're a fucking internet troll, lad. What are you talking about? Come over.
I wouldn't describe myself as that. If that's your word, that's your word. But that's just not how I would self-describe.
Of course, you wouldn't self-describe yourself like that, but sure, look, that's what the rest of us are for, lad. The same way you have your opinion, lad. That's the opinion of you.
Fair enough. People can speak, people can say, but it doesn't matter. I'll do, baby. I'll do all day long. So,
you'll do what? You'll do nothing.
Hey, that's how I got the same attitude when it comes to power slap. People can like say they can do whatever they want, but at the end of the day, we're still out here getting fights, getting views, making checks, and every event has a higher production value, and it's getting better and better.
To be fair, it is backed by the UFC, so that would answer that. I mean, it's hard to get better.
Yeah, but with its own
backing than that.
Yeah, but with its own merits of how much advertisements they are able to run and what they're getting for sponsorship, like it's generated its own income and is, I'd say, self-sufficient at this point.
So here's my thought. I would say you could probably plop a number of different things in the same spot that Power Slap's gotten, and the UFC and Endeavor, TKO, Dana, and the vehicle would have probably been able to do the same thing. I don't want to take away
I mean, that's
specifically, but I also
I
just
mean,
want to
look
say,
at
I don't want to take away from it, but
I'd
I'm just
argue
gonna try to
that.
take away from it.
but let me take away from it real quick. Yeah.
No, yeah, I'd argue that fucking
hold on.
Dana could grab a lot of sports that are out there right now that are underappreciated and legitimize them because he's just a good businessman and knows how to promote it. He's had 30 years of practice with the UFC. He knows what he's doing, and
Dana's a G.
he's making this successful. There's no the reason to think he wouldn't be able to do it with any other sport. This is just what he chose, and fuck, I'm grateful for it because it's a fucking modern day, like, you're taking turns, man. Like, that's like, people can say it's stupid, but I think it's pretty fucking manly, bro. Set your balls on the table and can you hit me harder than I can hit you? And are you tougher than me? That's pretty fucking cool.
To each their own. To each their own.
Ben's balls can't hit the table, so they can. Plumb to the bum, so they are.
I don't know. You know, truthfully, I might not be tall enough for this. I mean, how tall is this table?
It's like what?
It comes up to about here on you, Ben. Look.
Yeah.
How tall are you?
I don't know. I've got the Oompa Loompa build, man.
How tall are you, Ben?
I'm like 5'8" on a good day.
Dude, yeah, I'm 5'9". You're fine.
I'm 5'8", lying down, lad.
They lying.
He's 5'8", 120 pounds, soaking wet.
Soaking wet, pocket full of rocks.
I wish, man. I wish I was that thin. That'd be
How old
great.
are you, Ben? How old are you?
I'm 24, Sean. How old are you?
You're a fucking baby as well, and you're talking shite online. Like, move it, would you?
Let's remember who started this, Sean. It's you.
It was you, lad. What are you talking about?
Look
Who
much
started
more
it?
pathetic.
Who
'cause
started
You're the
it,
one that
people? Who
inserted
started
yourself
it?
and then
Who
wanted
started
to
it?
continue this argument. You're talking shit to a nobody, a 24-year-old, a baby. You look like the world's biggest
All right,
pussy. Come on,
Squidward.
Sean.
All right, Squidward. Whatever you're saying there, lad.
All right.
Fucking,
All right.
he's denying starting it now. He didn't put up the first post going, put with Debow's picture on it going, ooh, they should invest in this, they should invest in that.
Well, if it makes you feel better, Chris, I had no clue you were a Power Slap competitor. Again, I don't follow.
Here, can someone pull up the fucking thing he put up? He didn't have a clue you were with Power Slap.
Was it me on the fucking stretcher?
He was literally slating
Was
Power
you
Slap
cutting
and he
weight?
going, oh, I didn't know you were with Power Slap. Lad, you
Oh,
backtrack
dude.
more than a
Cutting-
fucking...
No,
know what.
everyone talking
Who's
shit
in the
about cutting
towel?
weight for Power Slap, man.
Were you in the
People
towels?
cut weight for every sport.
What's Ben saying?
Like,
But sure.
Pretty much like for fucking combat sports, like if you're going to be really competitive, you're going to be cutting weight. And I had no experience prior to this year for cutting weight. And
Ben's a little short ass. He doesn't have
I've done it.
cut weight.
And I've done it 5 times inside 12 months. Like, a lot of UFC fighters don't even cut weight 5 times. So out of those 5 times, to make a mistake 1 time and not waterload enough and catch so much flack for it, I'm just like, damn, that's fucking dumb.
Is that wait? So, remind me. So you were the one in the towels because I did make a joke about someone in towels.
Yeah, there you go.
Probably.
He admits it. There we go. Who started it now, Ben?
You, still you, Sean. Absolutely.
You just
let's not. Yeah,
stop,
you
lad.
can't reply.
Still
What
you.
the fuck, lad? You
No,
have
I think that's
CTE
a fair
already, lad, from that
Chris,
fucking
yeah, there
slap
are
to put you
like
on your arse, lad.
wrestling, boxing, mixed martial arts, kickboxing. Yep, it's a lot of cutting weight at the highest levels and even on the way up. So sure.
Like, speaking as someone who's always wanted to get into combat sports, but being 5'9" and chubby my whole life, and fucking poor most of it, not being able to afford fucking formal training and gym memberships and shit. This is something that's unique to its own. And if you're just tough as shit, it gives you an opportunity as opposed to trying. Like, I know people who are currently training and have been training for the past 15 years. My homie, he just got his first pro fight in MMA, and I'm closer to the UFC than he's gotten. Like, I'm getting paid more than he has. Like, I have more fucking opportunities just because of this sport. So it's fucking life-changing. I think it's, like, all around, like, despite all the flack, I think it's a good thing. Like, people are going to learn to appreciate it, or they're going to learn to hate it. And if they didn't hate it, we wouldn't be around. Like, if people didn't hate Nickelback, they would have died out years ago, but they hated them and they still make music.
So we're comparing Nickelback to Power Slap. Okay.
All the right reasons, baby.
See, if Chris was the sole ambassador here, then this could be a game-changing discussion. Unfortunately, we're standing John here. And
Hey,
that's just
you need to learn to compartmentalize and just keep your angry beef with Sean over here and my logic over here.
Yeah, he wouldn't be too angry if
I'm
he was standing in front of me, though. That's
I
for a
would no,
fact.
Sean. I'd say the exact same things to you. I would say the exact same things, no hesitation to you. If we
Lad,
were,
I'd be resting me nuts on your head to be start with, and then I'd
do you
fucking
have your own
pump kick you.
lines? Do you have any of your own lines, or do you just recycle? You just like pick other people, the McGregors, the Ian Carey.
Here, lad, you've obviously never met any Irish people if you think I'm fucking taking McGregor's fucking sayings, lad, because this
Really,
is
because
all
I heard
this
him
is
say that
all
to
us,
Chad
lad.
Mendes in like 2016. So
This
I
is
don't
all
know.
us, lad. What are you talking about? It's all us, lad.
Oh, we're pulling something up.
By the way,
Yeah,
this
that's me.
This is
That's you?
the post.
And I will
that we're
say
talking
this.
about.
There we are.
I believe all I did was comment on that and say tag me next time, because that you should have.
Well, I didn't know it was you, Chris. If it makes you feel better, I had no idea it was you. Next time I'll tag you.
So that's where this kind of stemmed from, and then it kind of
Yeah.
snowballed from there.
I wasn't feeling good.
Elsewhere.
He
Well,
hadn't
I'm
drank his
glad you're
water
feeling
that morning.
Listen, that doesn't excuse Sean, because there is zero chance that Sean saw this. Actually, wait, Jose. No. Okay, so that's what was put up, wasn't it? That's what was
that's what.
originally put
Look,
up
he
on
doesn't
Instagram.
even remember, lad. Here, you have CTE, lad. Come up over. What are you talking
Sorry, I've got
about?
a lot going on, Sean. I've got a lot going on, and a single fucking
CTE
tweet
head.
that's gone to Instagram happens every day. So can't remember all of them.
Hey, there's Ryan Phillips. What up? What up?
What up, man? Appreciate everybody joining us, hashing this little thing out we got over here. But yeah, I appreciate everybody coming on. You know?
I don't think it's getting squashed. I think they're just gonna not like each other.
Yeah, I think so too. Unfortunately, but,
listen, I would be fine squashing it with Sean. I just think that he needs some more accountability and some more.
I'd be just fine with squashing you, lad. To be fair.
Listen, you have 18 professional mixed martial arts fights. If you didn't squash me, I'd be fucking stunned, right? So that's kind of the nature of it. But
all right, guys, I
It's the
think
nature of the beast.
we're gonna try to.
Doesn't mean I wouldn't say the same things, Sean. Doesn't mean I wouldn't say the same exact things.
All right, yeah.
You wouldn't.
Before we wrap up, we got y'all's little bit of input on Amir versus Eddie. What do you think about Delvin versus Logan? How do y'all think that went? And what do you think those fighters got coming up?
I thought Delvin won it. To be fair,
dude, honestly, same. Like
Delvin's a beast. Delvin's a fucking beast, man.
Like I'm no fucking judge, but in my little fucking scorecard in my head, I was like 2 rounds Delvin, 1 round Logan.
I thought I like Logan, like, but I thought that last fucking slap was a club.
I have a question though. How does the scoring even work?
What's
the scoring criteria? Who hits harder?
It's a 10-point system with 1 point deductions based off of fouls, and then they judge off of significance of the strike and how it was received and how long it takes them to recover and their overall demeanor after they get hit.
Damn, that's a lot of just kind of just like guessing in the judges' eyes.
Oh, they got 9 judges. They got 3
judges.
Yeah, there's 3 people on each side of that's why they say when people why do they say 1 point, 1 point, 1 point over and over again? Because he's looking at 3 different panels of people watching the fight and letting them all know to deduct that point.
So wait, you have Dana White made Power Slap with 9 judges, and we have UFC with 3 judges.
I think there's only 3 judges scoring the fight, but there's 9 panels of people watching. There's 3 tables with 9 people watching, and 1 judge per table probably. I have no idea. I get tunnel vision when I'm up there because of the adrenaline, so I'm not looking at the judges.
Right, of course, yeah. No, because it's always baffling me, how are they scoring these, Power Slap competitions? Because it could be anybody's call, like this one, right? Anybody's call who could have won, right? Because they both hit each other pretty damn freaking hard, but
it's the same. It's the same with the UFC when look at the UFC when they have split decisions, and you're it literally came down to one guy who thought that the other one did better. It's humans judging a fight. You're trying to impress 3 people at the end of the day if you're not knocking them out.
Yeah, and that's where the judging in UFC, and MMA in general has been really probably gone to shit. There's been so much bullshit with judging, but like I'm sure you're gonna get a lot of bullshit in judging with this new sport as well. It's nothing's ever gonna be set in stone when it comes to judging in combat sports, unfortunately, and even boxing to this day has been, talked about as bad as it already is.
Dude.
And has been forever.
I'm one of those people who just never like boxing's cool, but the system for boxing has been so rigged for so long that it's really gimmicky. Like I
don't
see
say that
people
about boxing.
like when people drop some of the fucking like greatest fighters of all time, like you look at their fucking first 20 fights, like who'd they fight? People who were 1-17, like padding your record. Like it just get there's like all about money fights and shit. It's like boxing 40 years ago, tight. Boxing now, I don't really care.
I mean, boxing's been growing lately, especially in last year. They're starting to put on best boxers versus best boxers, and at least it's been. I mean, come on, Ben. I mean, we've
say
had
that when Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder are fighting on the same card and not fighting
each other.
Right,
like,
here's the thing: there are so many top-ranked events, and no one gives a fuck about 98% of them. You can't say that the sport's growing when it's like on the shoulders of 9 guys that are.
Yeah, I think it's. I honestly, I'll blame Floyd a little bit because he fucking changed it up where people stopped fighting for fucking pride and started fighting for bags and just keeping a good record. They're like, I'm not going to take the risky fight that would make me look good when I can just wait and take one that's going to get me more money and it's more secured that I'm going to get that win.
But yeah, Anthony Joshua not fighting Tyson Fury is the biggest mockery to boxing.
That too. That's pretty bad.
He's fighting Ngannou, like that's a joke. Like he should be fighting fucking
Dude,
Fury. Like,
I just don't see how Tyson gets away with his hands being so deep in his gloves. Like when he swings, that glove is going womp way back here. Like and his hand is like at the base of the wrist. It's wild.
That's gypsy boxing, man. That's fucking at its best.
Yeah. He's gonna fucking load him up in the caravan and be gone before you know what happened.
Right.
Man. But so I guess we'll end on that. I mean, just wanted to get you guys on, talk some shit, see what you guys thought about, the slaps that were on this evening, as well as kind of hash things out. But I can see there's no hashing out that's gonna ever happen between you two. So.
Speaking of this next fight, I'm excited for.
Meets me in person.
Speaking of if you and I are ever in the same room, expect the exact same for me.
Hey, lad, here I won't be able to see you, lad. I'll be looking around on the ground for you somewhere.
As long as I get to record it, I don't care what you boys do.
Yeah, I gotta be.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, Chris, I posted you in not the greatest light. You can absolutely post me getting destroyed by Sean if he ever gets me down there. And I will.
You want to have your camera out fairly quick, like.
Yeah, well, it'll be longer than 10 seconds. I'll tell you that.
I doubt it.
If Chris was the ambassador for Power Slap, I think that a lot of people would probably have a different tune towards it, and I would be open.
I'm telling you, man. I mean,
he's a fan. I tell you, he's a fan, Debow. I knew he was a
these guys, fan. Like, there's more to it to slapping each other.
You'll try the Krabby Patty one of these days, man, and you're just gonna fall in love. It's gonna be like the McRib. You love that you hate. You fucking hate that you love it.
I don't know. I can't get with the McRib, but I can get with the other. But all right, guys. Appreciate y'all. We'll be back next week. We'll be recapping that fight card.
Yeah, tune in next week to see Danny Van Heerden perform. That dude's a fucking beast.
Danny all the way.
He's got a ton of combat sports experience too. Which is
dude, he's competed in fucking like everything.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to Power Slap 6 coming on February 9th, and I'm looking forward to more. And I appreciate you, Ben. I appreciate you, Sean. Appreciate you guys coming on, and we'll see you guys next time. I appreciate everybody in the chat. We'll see you guys next week. Adios. We're out of here.